So here we are, Pearl and Mary, M-A-R-Y. So down here there's a residence called 1213 Walnut. I think that's actually what it's called. It's like one of those number buildings. There's a picture of Grace Kelly on the wall in the lobby. And she has like little dots all over her face, almost like string heart, you know, in a way. It's like pixelated-ish, but like old school. And she's wearing pearl drop earrings. So, and someone was like, pearl drop? So they're dropping pearl from something, or would the ultimate transcendence be to be someone who had to go through like a lot of torture through a refining of a pearl, you know, like in an oyster. And then finally you get to drop pearl and let them move on with somebody else. How cool would that be? And then to have the features of Grace Kelly, you know, she would be considered, you know, in the top bunch in terms of attractiveness and looks, at least, you know, in her prime, I guess. Should we show Grace Kelly? All this talk, I can't leave people hanging on a thread. So, down here. Also, the radio tower atop the Claridge at Rittenhouse, northeast corner, they've got the tip off of it. I don't know if it's under repair or if they're sending a message. I might have said that at the beginning of the first video, but Grammel here on the license plate at the first vehicle, which is a Masonic indication. My grandfather technically was a Mason, like 32 or 33. I don't know if it means anything or not. I don't think so, because we didn't have any money. So, but Noor Temple Shriners, no less. But there's Grace Kelly with all these like pins all over her face, and then like connected the dot strings. And they brought the same girl out as they did earlier when I was by here. She doesn't compare. Grace Kelly will always be perfect and no one will match up. So can you imagine if you get picked up by Grace Kelly's people? And I want to know who's timed also, because I was by here earlier, I couldn't use the video and the same exact person came out, but tonight she has her hair pulled back. 12:13. I wonder if she knows, you know, that she's timed and puppeted. Moon up there. That's also brand new. It used to be the 12th Street Gym, and now it's like S12 South 10 or S10 South 12. Weather vane. Oh, can the weather be controlled for fire damage and for airplanes going down, or for terrorism involving blizzards and stuff like that in 2011? But there's a little weather vane spinning up there. It's weird. I talked earlier in a video about having a mini meltdown. Actually, it was like kind of major, but I was in a rent-a-car. I had just gone to a whatever you call it, surprise birthday party that was set up by my step-family for my dad's. My dad was not in the loop. So they were, you know, sneaking around behind his back, you know, and set up a surprise birthday party. Some people see surprise parties as potential danger, depending on who's involved and what, and it's the idea of setting up behind someone's back. Even if it seems well-intended, it might not be. There could be other things going on and other people are set up. So anyway, so I was talking about that earlier, and a whole bunch of things unfolded that got me all like upset and everything, because it's like I can't be around my step siblings, I can't be around my step family. There's something wrong here. It's like being raped, you know. So when I finally got to pull the car out of the driveway, and I was trapped because everyone pulled their cars in behind the car, that, you know, I was told to pull into the carport, and anyway, everybody else pulled in behind, and I needed to get it on the road to return the car and all this other stuff. Anyway, it's a big football balloon in CVS. Anyway, so I finally get on the road after sort of like, I needed to recover, because it's like sometimes when you're around certain people you need to recover, and sometimes when you're around people you actually feel uplifted and fulfilled. I always had to recover from being around certain people, you know, who my dad wound up marrying into. I don't know why that is, but some people, they know I'm being nice. These people aren't good to people. They do other things. They play games and so forth and so on. Is that neat? So I'm driving on like I-75, which is the western interstate that runs along the western side, the Gulf side of Florida. And a rainstorm, like monsoon. We are talking cats and dogs. We're talking you can't see out the windshield at all. That happens, my head winds up having a major migraine, and I'm talking, whoa, I was in so much pain, which the whole bunch of things, all of that combined with needing to escape whatever was going on surrounding my dad's surprise birthday party, which he was not in the loop on, made me like have a meltdown, start crying all over the place. I had to pull the car off. I can't stand, oh God, can you stand that voice? Phantom. Yeah, come on people, let's get an education already. So anyway, so they do it on purpose to annoy people. But anyway, so I'm trying to, you know, drive back to my mom. My mom and aunt lived in Jacksonville, Florida. My mom at that time lived in her own apartment. I'm trying to drive back. I had to call my mom. I'm like, I'm on the side of the road because it's raining so hard. I can't, you know, I can't even see. I'm having like a meltdown. I'm crying all over the place uncontrollably. I also had a major migraine to the point of I felt like my head was going to explode. So it was bad. The issue was, why was it so bad? Because I was like, why did I have that much of an quote-unquote allergic reaction? Someone said, whenever there's something bad going on with people and you might have, you know, we call it an allergic reaction. I have an allergic reaction to talking to people who work for Pearl, you know. I have an allergic reaction to anyone who's hurtful and rapisty. Here's a new one. So anyway, I talked about that in a video earlier this morning, and I'll come back around. I always go through and I'll go this way. So I talked about that just because why was there such a bad reaction? Was there someone in control of the weather even? That's how, and in Florida it's really easy to have, rains all the time for like an hour, 45 minutes, 15 minutes. Rains in one town, not the other. Can clouds be forced over? It gets weird. Like when you experience weird stuff, you're like, what are the odds that there's gonna be such high winds for the Palisade fires? And that the entire, all those people lost their homes. What are the odds that they were gonna have hazardous fires and a fire break out? Now, it could be that someone knew the weather and ignited fireworks, and then it just went crazy from there. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? I forgot about Hilton on the canned opiates. Hilton canned opiates. In Wayward, Federal Donuts, Gerard, the whole 9 yards. So this is the Drug Enforcement Agency block, and some people see it right away. Some people would be like, no, but it's like, yes, they are that retarded. Like they actually would go that far, So anyway, I'll head on this way. That's in my morning video, the breakdown in the car. I tried to describe it as best I can. It's hard to describe. It was so many years ago. It was like 2002 or 3. My dad was born in what, 30? It might have been 2002, because I think my dad